I don't know how to go about studying abroad. What can I do? And I'm saying arrows and OT are here for you for that purpose. So if you want to go study anywhere in the world, arrows and OT cover 26 countries and more than 500 institutions. There is no way you don't find the course you want to study in one of those institutions. So arrows and OT are your go-to. So you don't have to worry about anything. Just chat them up in WhatsApp. You see the WhatsApp number at the top of the screen there, and you can always ask whatever questions you want to ask. But please be mindful that time is money. And so whoever you're chatting with may not be able to stay on with you forever. So check on Facebook, check on YouTube, listen to some of the previous webinars that we've had. So you have comprehensive information, and then you can come, and then someone is going to attend to you and discuss with you and help you and put you through what you need to. And so this is Arrow's website. You can always go there, and you're going to find a lot of information there for the blog, on each of the country pages, and that will help you to make a decision. This is Arrow's what's that, Instagram, and that is Facebook, and that is Arrow's YouTube. All of this, and then the WhatsApp number is there. You can always take advantage of any one of these and reach out to Arrows, and definitely someone is going to give you whatever information you need. So these are the questions from other questions from registered participants. Someone asked about, yeah, there were so many questions about scholarships, and like I said, Arrows does not award scholarship. Arrows can support you in seeking for scholarship. Arrows will support you in getting a placement in any country of your choice. And many of the scholarships that are very easily accessible are accessible only after you have registered. I always ask one question from people when they talk, because people talk a lot about scholarship. The truth of the matter is there is no free lunch anywhere. So if you are getting scholarship, there must be something about you. It's either you are doing research or you are excellent. You are an excellent student, you are an A student, and that is why you will be able to access some of these full supports. Other than that, you register as a student, and there are so many institution-based scholarships that you can access. But trying to stay back at home and looking for full scholarship, it is not impossible, but it is very, very limited. And it requires a lot of work that you may not be willing to put in. Countries and courses that are covered by Arrows, like I mentioned, 26 countries and any kind of course that you may be interested in studying. And we give you full support. And like I always mention, if you are studying in any one of the countries or universities covered by Arrows, you don't have to pay anything. But if it's in a country we don't cover, or in a course that we don't cover, or an institution that Arrows does not cover, you are going to need to pay fees for processing your admission. That's a consultation fee. But if you are able to choose out of over 500 universities covered by Arrows, then you don't have to pay anything other than your application fee, which you pay to the university directly. And someone asked, if I have a CGPA of 2.5 or I have third class, can I apply for master's? Definitely you can. Your chances may be limited. And then if you have work experience, it's also very, very important. Your work experience is considered as part of your evaluation. And if the course you are studying is where your work experience is, then that makes it better. And apart from that, if you have studied maybe previously, and then you have something to show for it that is related to what you want to study, then you can always apply. So it's on a case-by-case basis. There is no, we can't throw a blanket on this and say, yes, you will get it. You may get it and you may not get it, but you will always be able to find an admission. What you may not be able to, what I can't say 100% that you will get is MSc or MA, as in master's degree. You can get postgraduate diploma, postgraduate certificate, post-degree certificate, which will take you about 12 months, then you can switch to a master's program. So if your CGPA is very low, then you may need to consider opting for a postgraduate certificate or diploma before you move on to your master's degree directly. And then if you have work experience, we can make a case for you with our partners. And then someone also asked, what's the cheapest study option? It is research. If you are studying research, you may study for free. If you are good with research and you have a good research proposal, you can study for free. The cheapest places to study is Malaysia, followed by Russia and any of the Nordic countries. Those are places where you can find cheap study options. And then someone asked, what's the cheapest place to study for nursing? Malaysia, Norway, or any of the Nordic countries will give you a cheap place. And then if you go to Malta as well, I think relatively nursing is cheap in Malta as well. And then someone also asked, okay, I am some of the questions there. But so these are some of the questions that were asked. And then I think, okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so someone also asked cheapest for engineering, Malaysia, Russia, and other countries also. And someone was asking about estimated tuition in Canada. Actually, it varies. It varies by institution, but you can find something in Canada starting from about 3,000, which is very, very few, because I know everyone will want to take that now. But that is very, very, very limited, only for certain courses. Like if you want to study music, we have a place where you can find a tuition that is this cheap, 3,000, 4,000, things like that. And but it's also very competitive because that's where everybody wants to go. So if you apply early, then you can get it. But tuition in Canada, I would say, if you are studying any of the regular courses, engineering, social sciences, science, you should be thinking of something in the neighborhood of, say, 10,000, 12,000 to about 17,000. Between 12,000 and 17,000 Canadian dollars per year. That's what you should be thinking of. And of course, you know all the benefits of studying in Canada. You can work and study, your spouse can go with you, your spouse can work, you can get post-study visa, you can stay back, you can become a citizen, all of that is applicable in Canada. Someone asked about transfer of study. Can I transfer my study? Yes, it is possible, but you need to be evaluated before you are placed. So the process is you apply as if you are a new student. They give you an offer like a new student, you report, and then you present your transcript, and then they will evaluate it side by side with the course that you are studying and the requirements in the country where you are studying. And then you will be exempted, and then you can move on. You may be able to get 1 year or 2 years of the study time. So that's possible. So you can do that. Someone asked about University of Hull. Is it a good university to study for master's? Yes, definitely. And it is covered by Arrow. So if you want to go to University of Hull, yes, you're welcome to apply. And it's a good university. It's a public university in the United Kingdom, and it's covered, by Arrow. I already said that. And I think finally we have someone is asking, what's the financial requirement for if you want to go and study abroad? You need to have your 1 year tuition and your 1 year living expense stored up in a bank account of your own bank account or your sponsor's bank account. So let me say a little bit over this so that we will not need to go over that question again. 1 year tuition, okay, this financial requirement is what we refer to as the proof of fund. Your proof of fund is the amount of money that you are expected to have in your bank account or in your sponsor's bank account before you can apply for visa. Nobody is going to take that money from you. So what you need to do is that money needs to be in the account for a minimum of 3 months, 4 to 4 months. 1 month if you are going to study in UK. If you are going to study in the US, you need 3 months. If you're studying in Canada, you need 4 months. And this total amount, for example, if your tuition per year in your Canada school is 15,000 Canadian dollars, and living expenses is 12,000 Canadian dollars. Before you can get your visa, you need to show 27,000 Canadian dollars in that bank account, and you need to top it up with about 30%, between 10 and 30%, just to be on the safer side. And you need to show this amount have been in your bank account for at least 4 months. 3 months if you are going to the US. So these are things that you need to know and plan for. So in any of the countries that you are going, wherever proof of fund is required, you need to show 1 year tuition and 1 year living expense. The amount you actually need to pay depends on the institution. Some institution will ask you to pay 10% of your tuition before they allow you to apply for visa. Some will take 30%, some 50%, some will ask you to pay the entire tuition, but that's very rare actually. So you only need to pay a little part of the tuition, and then when you get the visa and you apply and you go over there, then you can pay the balance of your tuition. In certain cases, you can also be allowed to pay the remaining balance little by little, not necessarily at once. And yes, for those who will be asking, can I work and pay my own tuition? Yes, you can work and pay your own tuition, but then it requires some creativity on your part. It requires a lot of creativity on your part, because working 20 hours per week may not necessarily pay your tuition. But if you are able to work more than that and you have marketable skills that allows you to be able to maybe work online or provide services to people back at home, and they can pay you, or in some other places that they can pay you, and then you might be able to do that. Some students work 2-3 jobs at the same time, especially if you are studying in a country where there is no restriction on how much work you can do. You definitely can pay your tuition. A lot of international students are paying their tuition. So if you're able to raise the initial amount to pay for your first semester fee, and you have a little stored up for you to be able to take care of yourself, pay accommodation, feed yourself, and please don't think you can jump all of those things. The things that you can have access to at home are not available when you are abroad. Nobody is going to pick up your costs. But what you can do is you can cut down on your living expenses by sharing things, like share a room instead of living alone in a room. Share an apartment instead of renting an apartment by yourself. Live outside the campus and cook your own meals instead of living on campus and buying food. Those are things that can help you to cut down on the expenses. And with that, whatever you make when you work, you can invest in your tuition. So the answer to the question is yes, you can pay your tuition, but you are going to need to be very, very creative about it. Grant, and if you're able to get that, then you can definitely study for free. And another thing you can do for yourself, this applies to Canada, Australia, UK, you can go spend your first semester, pay your way in. The moment you get in, you'll be able to access scholarship. There are a number of schools also in Canada that allows you, they give you a waiver on tuition the moment you register as an international student. So just be in touch with us, and then you can always have that opportunity for all the details. And then can we get this summary slide? Sorry, we don't share the slide. You can have access to the video. The video has all the slides in, so you can have access to the video after the webinar. It will be sent to you. UK and Canada, we are not covering today. We have covered UK and Canada a few weeks back. So please, you can check YouTube. UK and Canada should be there by now. I think they must have uploaded it. Can I get recorded video? Yes, you have access to the video on YouTube as soon as they finish, I think, editing and put it on YouTube. New Zealand and policies for application. New Zealand, I think we are going to, I'm not sure, I think we should be covering New Zealand very soon. But New Zealand is one of the very nice places to study for international students. You are free to stay back. You are free to, work. You can work and study. And I think New Zealand also topped the list of study destinations where racial discrimination is very, very low. I think it's one of the lowest in the world. And then, what are the university's partners with AROS? That's a big question. Like I mentioned, we have more than 500 of them. So I can't give you a comprehensive list. Ghent University, AROS is on the call. Please, AROS, you can confirm that for us. Ghent University, is it part of the universities covered by AROS? Please, Damilola is asking that. We can confirm that with you later on, Damilola. Do you have partners in the European universities you share? Most of them, yes. Which is the cheapest for studying accounting? I think generally, wherever is the cheapest will be the cheapest for studying accounting. Malaysia comes first, followed by Russia, then the Nordic countries, Malta. Those are all places where you can study for cheap. Can you share the schools and the programs? I think I already did that. Aden University in Germany, I can't answer that directly now. AROS, please help us check that and update us. Aden University in Germany, is AROS covering that? How much does AROS charge for admission assistance? Okay, like I mentioned, if you are studying in any one of the universities that we are partners with, we don't charge you anything. You just need to pay for your application fee, and then we will start talking with you, and you can have all the information that you need. How do you help with visa assistance and supporting documents? We support you all through. You're going to have to apply for the visa by yourself, but we're going to put you through every step of the way. We're going to tell you what documents you need to get. We're going to tell you how you need to apply. The university will also join us in helping you, so you don't have any problem when it comes to that. Do you need proof of fund for 1 year program if you are paid in full in Canada? Yes, you are going to still need proof of fund, especially for your living expenses. So your proof of fund also only reduces because you are paid your full tuition. You are going to need to show proof of fund for living expenses. Thank you. Okay. For an undergraduate student that is out of age, like 28 years, and you are affected by strike, you want to transfer your study abroad, what study options will be available, factoring age limit for undergraduate studies? Yes, age limit is a relative term, actually. Yes, you are expected to not be up to 28, but then conditions may make that to happen to people. So what you do in such a situation is you have to write, you have to cover all of this, whatever it is that have made you to be up to 28 years and you are applying for an undergraduate program. You need to explain that in your letter. When you are writing your statement of purpose, then you are going to address that. And you can also add additional documentation when you are applying for visa that says, okay, what have you been doing all this time? So why are you just doing undergraduate programs now? You can justify it. You can justify it. It's not that as a matter of rule, they will not allow you. No, people even older than that can do undergraduate program. So if you want to transfer your study, I would say it depends how many years you have spent in your study. If it is just 1 year, I would say forget about transferring the study, just apply afresh. But if you have studied like 4 years, then I can say, okay, you can transfer because it's a lot of time, but you're going to need to apply afresh, like I've explained. Then you go in like a new student, and then you present your credentials, your transcript and everything. And then they will evaluate and then offer you some time off.